I'm done with the partying, done with the drinking. I would go out and just come home and be like, why did I do this? I could have just slept.
You've got this awesome group of friends that have been on this journey all together. How has it evolved?
I went on this journey about a year ago. I was just over the nightlife scene because it didn't serve any purpose to me. With Maddie and Matt now, it's always about positive stuff, how we can better our lives. That's sort of the relationship I've been having with them. So we wanted to look for an alternative. Daytime, everyone's having fun, enjoying coffee and vibing, socializing, networking. So then I just reached out to the first 3-4 people that came to my mind was Maddie, Matt, and Jeff. From there sprouted the coffee party. 9 days later, decided to do our first event, and it was like 300 people show up.
Wow.
Welcome to Life Mastery Stories. Over the last several years, I've had the privilege of working with extraordinary human beings from all over the world. Today, I'm going to introduce you to a very special human being. Zohaib Aziz is a serial entrepreneur. He's a CEO of Employ Canada. He's the co-founder of the Coffee Party, an international sober movement that's changing the way people connect in cities. And he's a cancer survivor. Zo has achieved an incredible level of success that so many people admire. In this episode, he shares about how there was something missing. And by uncovering his unconscious patterns through the Life Mastery method, he was able to uncover a whole new level of peace, joy, connection, and fulfillment that was way beyond anything you could buy.
Hi, everyone. I'm here with Zo, young, successful entrepreneur. We're going to go a little deeper today and talk about a different kind of journey that we've been on. So tell me, Zo, first a little bit about yourself and what brought you to the work.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit about myself. Business owner, been in the recruitment space for 8 years. That was sort of like my jump into being an entrepreneur. Right, I worked with my brother in the start, and then I noticed I was pretty good at it. And then I started my own firm with my brother-in-law, and then been in the recruitment space for 8 years. Got into investing into a lot of startups, and just opened an offshore company as well. Just that sort of describes like my work side of it. Because if I was to tell you it's like a blur, do I remember it? No, it just happened like this, and I was just thrown into the work field, and I made something of it. Right, I was able to build like a good base, good foundation. But then we talked about like you get money and you think, life that's it. It's incredible. Like nothing else can happen. I'm successful. I've made it. Retire, throw in the bag, travel, trips, parties, all this stuff. And then life hit me, right? Emptiness. And where it was like money, I have all this money, but there's no love in life, right? There's no genuine connections. It's just partying and blowing money. And, as hard as it was to earn it, I blew it as fast as you can imagine, right? So it was just like a sort of like a wake up call that happened to me. And it started, I would say, almost 1 year from now, right? That's when I went on this like journey of like, I'm gonna quit partying, quit going out, focus on myself. I got deep into like my fitness side of it, but still like I was lacking this emotional sort of connection with myself, right? I would see like Matt and all of my friends go down like this path of like wellness and like, you know, I'd been with therapists before.
Oh.
When I had cancer. I was introduced to that world.
That's right, cancer survivor. We'll
Yeah.
get that on the list.
So I was introduced to like a therapist before, and it was nothing like how I liked it. Like I just sat in a room and she just wrote down what I was going through and just said it back to me. And there was no sort of like, how do we fix this? That's why I was really like, I thought this whole like, I'm gonna say we're industry, but this whole like area was like all BS. And like, oh, everyone does it. It's wellness. Like, no, it's about being a man, how strong you are, how much money you have. But that's all that matters in life, right? And reality life hits you. For me, it was just like a calling, right? There was a point in my life where I was like, I'm mentally, emotionally at the lowest part I've been. And how do I get out of this, right? I think we talked about this in our sessions. Like, I felt like I was in a wall, in a box, and the walls were just enclosed around me, right? So I couldn't get out and I felt suffocated. everything else, everyone would see me 24/7. Oh, you're happy, you're good. Yeah, yeah, that's what I gotta do. But I've been suffocated, right? I don't have anyone to talk to. And that's when, you know, we sort of went down this path. And you know, it's been, from what I've even discussed with, it's been like, it was needed 100%, but it's been like, it's changed my trajectory in life and like just mentally, right? Of course, it's only been what, 3 months, this is the fourth month going into it, but the way I speak, my conversation with people now, how I am emotionally, it's just completely shifted. So it's pretty fascinating.
Your transformation was radical. Like, I think you were someone that came in and you were willing to see, you were willing to be honest with yourself, and you've got this like deep desire to grow.
Yeah.
How did you find out? We do this work, but we've never publicly advertised or shared it. How did you find out about this transformational work?
Yeah. So funny story, Mykonos. Okay. Ended up going there in the summer, where a couple of buddies of mine and Maddie and Nima were there as well, right? And it was just like, this story is the one that actually caused the change,
Yeah.
where I have a big temper and I'm very like reactive, right? And even though I was on this whole wellness health journey, I was still reactive.
Yeah.
And there was this guy that was helping us book. He was like a concierge service, and I paid him, right? Like, he wanted like 150 euros. We paid him, and then he sent a message in our group chat. You know what? Guys paying you way more to do this type of stuff for you, and it was just like, I'm like, this guy's not happy. We paid him almost 300 euros at the end for what he's done for us. And I was writing this message with like anger, and I'm just like watching. Maddie's next to me, and I'm like, watch this guy. Who the f does this guy think he is? But Maddie's like, wait, why are you doing this? And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, why are you reacting like this to, right? There's no need to. He's like, if you just think about it, you might need him in the future next time you come to Mykonos. You're not from here. He's from here. And like, God forbid, like, it can lead to a wrong path, right? Or if you like, say something stupid to him, maybe he reacts in a dumb way. Now you're in his country, you're in a foreign country. So he's like, just be calm. There's no need to do that. Just change your message. You'd be like, hey, no worries. Next time, just let me know how much you need. I was like, okay, cool. And I did that. And the guy's response was like, yeah, no worries. It was just calm. And it was like, situation was done. And that to me was just like, well, okay, you made a decision by being calm and it led to something good, right? And we were just sitting down and having a conversation, and they started talking about like, this is like, to me was just like, what are these guys talking about? About being centered and like, like, think of yourself as a pendulum, things shifted and lack and all these words. And I'm like, something about it, like, it wasn't making sense to me. It was foreign words, but I understood the concept of just, the one thing that I took away from it was being centered, right? Like, if you let something pull you one way, pull you the other way, you're letting another person or another being or another situation affect your internal peace. And that was like, okay, I'm pulled one way or the other way every single day, right? Either it's a work message or it's a person or it's, a family member, whoever it is. I haven't been centered since I can remember, right? I feel like there's something every single day when I wake up to that's dragging me one direction and causing me to react, right? In a not a good way. And it's led, because of that, I've made stupid decisions in my love life, right? I made stupid decisions in my work life with family members, etc. Because I just did not know how to control my emotions, and I would just react. You say something to me, I have to say a response in the next second. If I don't, like, if like that's how I was built, right? But that was the sort of the whole situation. And then seeing that, and I just asked the question, like, hey, like, what are you guys doing? They all said, yeah, well, they didn't, Matt didn't even know Maddie was, working with you. And they both looked at, it's like that Spider-Man meme when they're like pointing at each other. And I'm like, shit, like, there's something about this, right? So I was like, let me just think, what's the worst that can happen, right? I'm already feeling like shit. I'm already at the worst. Like, I'm in Mykonos. You would think like, that's the thing. People look at my life and they look at my social media and they look at who I am and then they see my cars, everything. They're like, oh, this every time. Oh, it must be fun being on vacation. It must be fun, like, having all this stuff. Oh, money's good. Life is good. And I'm like, no one ever asks you, how are you? Right? How you doing? How you feeling? And it's like, it was that moment. And that's when I was like, you know what, fuck it. I gotta just, can I swear?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right? I was like, yeah, let me just take a gamble, right? I spent $10,000 on a table in a club like an idiot. So I can spend, some money towards bettering myself, and just is the greatest, I don't know, investment in myself I've ever done. Hands down. No, uh,
Thank you.
no. Thank you. Thank you.
What was your experience of us working together, and what did you expect?
Yeah. So when I mentioned, like, when I had cancer, I was told to talk to like a therapist, right? And my whole perception of that was like, this would be something therapy, like you sit down and someone's gonna take down notes and they're gonna try to dissect your life, right? But it's just when did that whole cancer therapy stuff, it just did not make sense because it was just they tell you what you want to hear, but there's no solution to it. There's no like, hey, let's go down the path of writing letters to yourself or fixing issues with other people. They don't tap into what the problem is. They just ask you how you're doing, and they just try to tell you, oh, hey, don't do this, right? So that's when
Transformation.
yes, exactly. So that's what I thought it would be, right? And then like I remember after our first session, I recall this more. I texted Matt right away and I was like, this is insane, right? I'm like, this is actually insane because it allowed me to sort of tap into, we dove into my life, right? We dove into like my early childhood, and I've never really had a chance to sit down and reflect on that because I'm like, we're culturally, we're raised in a way where it's, my dad was a like, taxi driver, right? My brothers hustled, did their business and everything. So it was like being a man in the house. There's no emotion. I never seen my dad cry. I mean, only if it's, when his mom passed away, that was the only time, but I've never seen my brothers cry. I've seen how hard headed they are. And like, I'm like, I gotta be like, emotions, you keep them inside, you build them inside. You don't talk to anyone about it. But with you, we went on this journey and just opening up. Like I wanted to do it, but I never felt comfortable with it. Right. Like I can't sit down with my parents and talk to them about my feelings or my emotions. They're gonna look at me like, what's wrong? Right. Because they're culturally so different. Right. But it was just like with us, like our sessions, it was just diving into, my childhood and then what, why I am who I am now. Right. And I think back and I see it, I'm like, holy shit. Like I get why I was very like, what's that, in a relationship, I was very, like attached to this girl, and like I was be crazy and clingy and all this stuff, and it would be like, oh, like you don't love me, you're not showing me attention or whatever, because I get why, right? So it was fun. It was like after that first session, it was just I'm like I want to do this every day. It was incredible.
And you dove like all in on your journey, which is why I feel like your transformation continues to be so radical. Like you keep pulling the work towards you. What are some like breakthroughs and realizations you had while going down this? Or can you even think of a moment where, you know, your false self or your inner child was about to show up and wreck it
Yeah,
and you shifted?
yeah, definitely. There's so many actually. Like I think these last 3 months, it's just been a war zone, right? But for me, the biggest, like the part that loved and I took away a lot was in my work, right? I was very reactive in my workplace. Like I have employees, I have all this whole environment that I've created. And when people would come to me with problems and issues and stuff, I would be reactive and I would make dumb decisions, causing me to bear a financial burden, right? And then just in that space specifically was when problems came up, I decided that I told my whole team, if you're telling me if there's a problem, I need 30 minutes, I need an hour. I might not even respond to you for a bit, but don't take it personal. I just need to first think before I make a decision, because in the past I made decisions and I had to, deal with the consequence of it. So I think that moment was the greatest for me, just in my work life, being able to center myself, and my team now looks at me better in a more of like a leader way. Because before, like when I'm just yelling or I'm being impulsive and I'm making dumb decisions, you could sort of see the energy shift as what's wrong with this guy, right? Where I never wanted to be that person that just yelling at his team, yelling at his employees, or trying to get stuff done through fear, right? Because that's what I was told. That's what I was taught, right? You want to get stuff done from your employees, you got to let them know who's the boss. You got to show them how to get it done. With my previous business partners, I've seen how they reacted, right? And I was like, oh, they're successful. This is how you have to do it. But just being able to just relax, take a deep breath, not jump and make stupid decisions. I noticed just my work change, right? I noticed all the BS disappear. I noticed just, crazy amount of like like abundance, you would call it, of just like
Yes, okay.
abundance of just like crazy just stuff happening now. And I'm like, wow, I was operating from such a dark negative place before, and as a leader, that's the worst place to be in, because you're the captain of the ship, and if you're not in the right headspace and you're negative and you're worried and you're just going down this deep rabbit hole, nothing else is going to happen, right? And just these last 3 months, we've noticed just changed the way I am. Now I started giving that sort of feedback back to the team. Now we're noticing everyone's doing better. Results are coming in. Everything's moving towards the right direction. There's sunshine at the end of the tunnel. That's the analogy, but it's just like, it's way better now. Yeah, and thank you, I appreciate it. But I think that moment was crucial, because it was it's these people rely on me, right? I have to be the leader. Like I'm the one that who they trusted. They joined this company because of me, and if I'm not in the right headspace, then this is a complete failure, right? And that cannot happen. Like, I have so many lives that depend on me, and I have to fix myself. But
Everyone take note of like authentic leadership emerging. This is what it looks like.
no,
Right.
definitely. Like, I thought I knew what I was doing before by just like reacting and yelling, stuff like that, because that's how I was taught, right? When you do something wrong and like you're yelling at them. But then even when I would see like my business partners do that, I'm like, no, that's not the way. But then somehow I didn't realize I became that person, right? But
Totally.
yeah, and then I think that would be the biggest one.
What's something else that like emerged during your experience? Or actually, before I ask you that, you've got this like awesome group of friends that have been on this journey all together. That's been so beautiful to watch. What have your relationships been like with each other? How have they evolved? How has it evolved?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I had this conversation with Matt the other day, and it's like he's told me, he's like, bro, I'm so glad you're on this journey because I can talk to you now. Like, I can talk to like someone that understands what I'm going through. And like, I'm gonna use Matt as like the primary.
Share that this morning.
Yeah,
Too.
I'm gonna use Matt as like the primary example, because when Matt first went down this journey, I was at the peak of my party, right? And I was at the peak of like I've never seen this much money come in my life. I was just like, what is going on? This is crazy. Splurging on cars, watches, everything. And I was just like seeing Matt, and Matt's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go do meditation. I'm gonna go do my journal. And I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, I'm like, Matt, like, we have a table tonight at this club, but you should come tonight. No, like, I'm gonna stay in tonight. But what does this guy do? Oh, it's such a ways. Like, I was like, I noticed like our friendship was a little like there was like a rift in it, right? Where I was just like, oh, this guy doesn't want to travel. This guy doesn't want to do the fun stuff. Like, I have girls, there's tables, come out, let's have fun. And he was on this path. I didn't understand it. But now the fact that I dove into it myself, that relationship I just hiding, because now we sit, we conversate, and like, if he's about to make a decision, he'll ask me his opinion, and I'll use the wise words. I'm like, do you really think this is, like, there was a scenario the other day. It's just, I try to be like philosophical on him. He's like, wow, like, Patricia's really been helping you, right? I'm like, yes, yes. But it's like, it's fun now because we can talk, and we can like, I can let him know about what I'm going through. He does the exact same, and there's no judgment, right? There's no like, me like looking at him like what his problems are, like, oh, this is weird, or him judging me. So it's a very open conversation now, and especially with like Maddie as well, right? Like, I've seen Maddie in the club industry years, right? Being in this space, and he was always like a quiet person, like he was always to himself, but he was like, the owner of multiple clubs, successful, etc. I didn't really get a chance to know him that well. And then over this last like year, I dove into like this fitness journey, and I seen him like, he's 40 years old, and he looks incredible, and he mentally is so sharp. And I'm like, this is a person I want to be around, right? He's built a crazy business in the city as well. And with him now, it's just a lot more like, just calm. If we understand what, we're going through, and it's just like I get you, bro, and it's just like a more of like a love friend relationship where it's like, there's no like, we're not talking about any problems. Like we're not like, I hate when you're with friend groups now, or I was in certain friend groups and you're just talking bad about people, right? And that people have nothing else to talk about than, what they're upset about other people. And there's always this negative conversation. With Maddie and Matt now, we're never down that negative conversation rabbit hole. It's always about positive stuff, always about how we can better our lives, training, being healthy, etc. So that's what the conversations, we've sort of, that's sort of the relationship I've been having with them.
Yeah.
And from that sprouted the coffee party, right?
Tell me more.
Yeah, it's just like I went on this journey about a year ago of like, okay, I'm done with the partying, done with the drinking, all that stuff. Everyone looked at me like I was crazy. Like I would go out and people would be like, "You're not drinking?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." And I would get asked that question 100 times in a single night. So I was just over the nightlife scene because it didn't serve any purpose to me. Like I would go out and just come home and be like, "Why did I do this? I could have just slept." So we wanted to like look for an alternative, and I seen like this idea of like a coffee party, daytime, everyone's having fun, drinking, enjoying the coffee and vibing, socializing, networking. So then I just reached out to the first 3, 4 people that came to my mind was Maddie, Matt, and Jeff. Jeff's my trainer. And it was, I owe him a lot too because he put me down this mental road of just like taking care of my body. And it just from there sprouted the coffee party. And we 9 days later decided to do our first event, and we're close to like 300 people show up.
Wow.
It was
I
pretty
saw
awesome.
some footage of that. You guys, I was just saying, you guys raised the roof on
Yeah.
that night.
I'm not an events person, and I hate being like in the limelight. So it was like weird, like I mentioned to you, having people give me my flowers for that, and it was just like it felt cool, but I was just like, oh, I'm like talk to these guys, like they're the social media guys, and I'm just like,
And that's my question. What did it feel like to gather people in a meaningful way? It was something that you felt really like proud of, and that sprouted from like your true self.
yeah, and it's just the conversations were crazy, like the feedback and people coming up to me and saying thank you so much. We're glad you guys started something like this. Like we don't go out, we don't drink, and it's like, wow, there's a big community like this, right? And it's like, why are they, looked like they don't want to go to the clubs, they don't want to be in a bar with annoying drunk. Hey, listen, if that's your thing, do it, right? Like that's, I'm not trying to like make people like make it seem like I'm a saint and I'm an angel and I'm like on the right path. It's just I don't care for that anymore, and I don't want to be in that environment. So like it was incredible at the feedback, the messages that we get till this day now of people saying like, when's the next one? You want to come? Thank you so much. It's just been incredible. Like it just like the feedback has been positive and everyone loves what we did. And the fact that everyone was sober and dancing and having fun just shows you that, hey, it was more to than just being wasted on a Friday or Saturday night and then waking up hungover. But people still went on with their day, and I had a perfect night, perfect dinner, woke up, felt amazing, and only, for anyone that came, they only spent $10, right? It's not
Yeah.
$2,000 that I would spend on a bottle of Fasazol at a club. So it's a big difference.
And it's ongoing, so you have to check it out. But I've loved watching that come together.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So looking at someone who's struggling, men especially, because they've given such little safe space and culture has taught them to like man up and suppress their feelings. What would you say to someone, especially a man who was like struggling silently, but also was like, I don't have trauma, I don't have patterns, all this work is BS?
It's tough because why is it that women talk together, amongst their sisters and talk about their problems and they dive deep, but men we don't, right? Like we don't because we look at that as being weak, right? And it's sucks because we've created a social construct where you have to, in order to be a man, in order to be successful, hard headed, can't let your emotions. You got to be a lion, you got to be this dog in you, and all this stuff, right? And it's what I would tell the men is like it's funny. I relate this to my estheticians, because like all these women go and get facials done and keep their skin so clean. Our skin is the exact same, so they tell me you should be doing the exact same stuff. So women are doing this and they're bettering their lives of talking, and it's helping them. That's what we need to do as well, right? And we need to tap into ourselves a little, let our emotions out, because it's so crucial, right?
Mhm.
It tells you so much about yourself and about why you are how you are, why certain problems, are in your life, and how to deal with them, right? Because we're not taught that, right? I was never taught that. I was just thrown in from being a kid, thrown into having cancer, and go out to the world, right? I didn't know, like, okay, what the heck?
How to regulate an emotion.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, cancer is normal, right? Everyone gets cancer, no, right? Not everyone gets it. So you're thrown back into this society and it's like, go deal with your problems. Go work now, go make money, go do this,
Yeah.
right? Go find love, go do all this. But there's no conversation about, hey, how you doing? How's your healing? What are you going through, right? What, are you okay?
Yeah.
No, it's just work, school, work. That's it,
Co-
right? Family, kids. That's what this whole contract of what I've seen, right? I've seen my dad do it. I've seen my brothers do it. And I'm like, okay, I'm next. Cool. But I had cancer. Can I talk to anyone about that? No. There's no one there. No one you can relate to. So it's like, all right, cool. I just deal with my problems internally, right? So it's two people. It's like two other men is like everyone has certain problems in their life, and we're just told to keep it
Yeah.
balled up and just throw it in the closet and lock it up. That's it. Don't ever tap into it, right? Where it's so important to just have that conversation and let it out. And if you cry, you cried. If you have it, those are emotions. Like it's a reason why we cry because it's natural, right?
In fact, if we don't release it, what does it create in the body?
Black.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back
I
and
love that word.
this Eve,
Yeah. This
right?
exactly.
If you would have not gone down this path and done this work, what would have been predictable about your future?
I would have not been able to hold a relationship at all. I would have gone down that route of just cheating on my spouse, right? I would have just partied, uh, you know, drank alcohol until something worse happened. And yeah, I think it would have been like the typical life of like, you make money, you just cruise through life, get married and you're not genuinely care about the relationship, you have kids, and then you just flow with it. You either lose everything and then you're back into, remembering, oh, I used to be successful one day. And when you see those certain people in society, like it would have been that, right? Would have been a mess of a life. And yeah, I may have had money, right? But what I've learned is it's nothing, right? Like I've bought the house, I bought the car, I bought the watch, and I still felt miserable. So there's something wrong. Like it's not money. You could give me a dollar, you could give me another car, and I would still search for the next, right?
Joy.
So yeah,
And what does it feel like now entering this journey, this endless journey that'll forever be a practice? I always say the degree you transform your patterns, the degree you transform your life. What does life feel now being in practice, like regulating emotions, being more connected to friends? What's your life experience now versus then?
when I started this journey, I knew I needed it because I was seeing myself from like a third person, right? I was seeing myself of like you're this guy, you're this version of yourself, but you're not happy. You're not like you're just empty. Like I seen an empty soul, right? And like going down this path, this journey, I feel like I've have wisdom for years. Like I know I've had great wisdom because of what I went through with cancer. Because that was like a crazy moment in my life, and it was like a lib, labor death situation, and like I just put that whatever happened, toss it in the back. I was like, oh, cool, cancer done, right? But I didn't realize how much effect that had on me currently in my life, right? How it was affecting like the way I am, my emotions with people, like everything. It's played such a big role in my life, and I had no one to speak to about it, no one I could connect to about it, and it just, that led to a lot of like anger and resentment of why me built up in my body, and it was just like I needed to find a way to just express this or to figure out why the fuck am I like this, right? Why can't I hold a relationship? Why am I so angry? Why do I, like get pissed off at every single person? Why am I like built this specific way, right? And this journey allowed you to just realize like, dude, chill the fuck out. Like you're so worried about the past. You're dwelling over the past so much. And we talked about the big issue I had in like a family relationship that I let haunt over me to a point after your sessions. I was like, why the fuck am I mad at this? Why am I pissed off at this? But why are we fighting? And all it took was a simple message for us to just be, hey, cool, man, everything's good. And it's like, oh, I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about it once since that day.
Yeah. Oh, I love
It hasn't come up once, right?
Yeah.
Not, it hasn't like, and it's just, my life has just been in a sense where it's just, I feel like I've had like my ego's dead.
Yeah.
I feel like my ego disappear, right? I would first be that guy that would have to like, walk into a room and be worried about what everyone's thinking about me, how I am, okay, that people see my car, or people, like this weird little ego. And I would have like ego battles with people not even knowing who they were and just thinking, oh, this guy's probably, like it was a weird sort of moment in my life. And I know I needed out of it, and came this, and it's been where my decisions have been better, right? My relationship, like I don't think I have a bad relationship with anyone. I fix all of my bridges with everyone. It's life's been good, smooth. And as I talk about it all the time, it's like a never ending battle, right? Like the problems keep coming every single day, but now I just have the right tools in order how to deal with them, right? The problems are going to always be there, but now I'm not being reactive, right? I'm enjoying the moment more. I'm waking up and I'm, meditating, and I'm, you know, w- w- being grateful for everything I have. And I'm just enjoying like the little things in life now, which I wasn't before, right? I had everything come and it just was there. And I was just like, I want the next. I want the next. And I went, but it's all here. Like I wanted the house. I got it. I wanted the car. It's there. The watch, like everything's there. But I'm so worried about tomorrow, right? I'm so worried about the future. I'm so worried about more, but materialistic stuff. And I was like, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? All right, calm down. Worry about like, the moment. Be present with the family. Be present with everyone, right? Like that, all this stuff. Like one day you can have the car, one day it can disappear. So is that gonna dictate if you're happy or not, right? For me, I allowed it to dictate myself too much, but it's been good. It's been like, I feel like I'm just like this wise individual now. Anytime I talk to any of my friends now, they're like, dude, like you're talking so different now. And I'm like,
The Buddha has arrived.
and I was just like, I just don't like, like that old self of me, needed to go. And I just didn't know how to kick him to the curb,
Huh.
but I've done it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm not like it's such a proud moment always, and like just witnessing your like incredible journey and transformation. It was like such a gift.
Yeah.
Like such a gift, and I'm just so proud of you. And I am excited for what you're going to create.
Thank you so much.
I know you're just getting started. I'm going to rapid fire you a couple of questions. Okay, this is like the breakthrough rapid fire. So biggest breakthrough in relationships, intimate relationships.
I was chasing too much after the idea of like, I would say like she's being attracted to someone because of the sexual aspect of it. But it's more so of like, hey, listen, like you know, if there's no emotional connection, there's nothing you can relate to, don't even engage with that person, because you're not going to be on the same page.
Ladies, so you hear the span? Keep going.
Yeah, it's just like sexual attraction is one thing, and I was chasing that, I would say, my whole life, of the physical looks and all that stuff. But now it's more so of like, I want to know who you are, what you do, what you care about, and let's conversate over that. I don't care about anything else aside from that.
The emerging masculine energy in your crew is like on fire. Yeah. So you
I love.
okay? All right. Breakthroughs in your family.
I realize why everyone is how they are, right? I realize why certain people react the specific ways in situations, and I get it. And it's like I would react back to them,
Yeah.
but now I get where they're coming from, and I can see why they're upset, because they've had this fake image built up outside of themselves, and it's just understanding them more, right? I know why, look, certain family members are who they are, and it just being like, I get it. I get you haven't like talked to anyone about your problems, right? And if one day I hope they do go down that path, because they'll make their life a million times better. So just understanding like why certain family members are why they are like that.
Beautiful. Breakthroughs at work.
I would say for myself would be like being calm, noticing like how being calm resonates so much to like decision making, and how much better the decisions are, and what that would notice success in, throughout the whole company, and just being understanding of why certain people, again, same thing as family. And the biggest takeaway is like being understanding of why people are how they are, right? Just understand, like, dude, you're upset. I get it. Like, maybe you had a bad day, maybe something happened, and I'm not going to judge you based on that, right? So just seeing that in employees and just creating a better environment where people can just be more calm and collective and just grow right together. Yeah.
And then last question, and I remind you of this all the time, being a cancer survivor, Zoe, you have no room.
Yeah.
But you can't mess around with your health. And what have you discovered? What breakthroughs have you discovered with the mind, body, soul connection, with how your mind can affect your health or your body?
Yeah, crazy. Like, you said that, I got like goosebumps right now. And it's like, it's massive, right? It's such a mental, like, you think negative, you're mentally, if you're negative, your body is just going to be the exact same way, right? All the good that you're trying to seek is just going to divert itself away from you. And I think this was in the book when it talked, like, I was reading it, and there was a point where it's like, there was like the lights, like, it's like the rays of lights or whatever. And like, it was going to a plant that was healthy and everything was smooth. And it was going towards a dead plant, and you could see it sort of broke off. And that resonated really well with me, because it's like, if I'm mentally in a dark, negative space, all the good just going to disappear. It's never going to be where it needs to be. Right. And for me, like, it's just so important, like, with what I've gone through with cancer, to be the best version of myself physically, right? If I'm drinking and, smoking is a big thing as well, I need to fully stop that. But if I'm indulging in the stuff, I'm not taking care of that. Like, I've been through, like, chemo is I don't wish it upon my worst enemy, right? It's horrible. Like, I don't want to ever go back into that space. And I need to realize that my mind dictates so much of how I will be, physically, health wise, and everything. And I need to realize I keep that strong, so I never experience that in my life again. Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
One final question for you. If there was somebody that was considering doing the work, or the path of healing, knowing they're struggling, but kind of on the fence, they're not sure, what would you say to them?
How much do you value your life? How much do you value getting better or being happy? Like, for me, myself, I I would say, like, I was after Mykonos, you would think you were like, greatest trip, incredible. I was probably at the darkest moment of my life, right? And it's like, darker than cancer, darker, yeah.
Wow.
Because when I had cancer, I didn't know what I was going, right? I was oblivious to the world. I was a kid from school that got thrown into a hospital and got thrown into the work field. Now it was to a point where I was like, I've had my highs, I've had my lows, I've had relationships fail and everything. And I'm at this moment where I feel dark. Just feel dark is above me. I wake up and it's dark. It can be sunny, but it's dark. My insides, my mind, mentally, it's just dark. All right. How do I escape this? I don't know. Right. So it's so crucial to just realize, like, how much do you value your life, right? We pay all this money towards, bettering ourselves in, like, physical ways or whatever, and all the gym memberships and all this stuff. But if you're physically, mentally not good, nothing will come from it, right? And it's so important to just speak up. And for me, like, I thank you. And I've said this 100 times to you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's like, you changed my life, right? Like, if it wasn't for this, it would have been like, I don't know. Like, I have no clue how dark it would have gone, because it was like, people just see me as this person of like, oh, he's successful, he has money, or he's a club guy, bottles, all this stuff, cool. But I was just dark, empty inside, right? And I was like, there's like, there was someone that I truly loved and I was in a relationship with, and I realized how I ruined that, right? I made dumb business decisions out of being just this, the old version of myself, which led to, crazy downfalls, right? And it was just to a point where life was just collapsing in front of me. And I'm like, this is like there's nothing good coming, right? How is good going to come if that's all mentally that's in my head, right? And it was just important to just see that glimpse of light and just see the opportunity of like changing myself and my mindset and my mentality and see what's possible out there, right? And it's worked. And it's just been 3 months of me on it. And I've noticed just, like I've used this of comparison. And when we first started the meditation, I would close my eyes. I would picture myself just in a room and just water and chaos around. Nothing's calm, right? So when I would close my eyes, I would go into my meditation. I would just picture myself sitting in a room of just water and chaos and shit all around me. And as if now when I go back into the meditation, it's calm. The water is calm. It's not dark. There's sunlight. So I'm like, there's something good that I've tapped into myself where I'm noticing that, hey, like, dude, it's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Like, it's going to be better. Like, and that's the important part of it, right? It is just to everyone, like we keep, or for as men, like we keep ourselves bottled up so much. And that leads to like ruined relationships, ruined business relationship, friendship, divorces, all this stuff, because we're just too much, like we're scared of just letting our emotions out. We're scared of seeing another female or a male cry, seeing us cry. And it's so important for us to just realize, just be yourself, cry, let it out, speak, right? Know why, like, if there's something that happened to you when you were younger, speak about it, right? Talk to people about it because it's so impactful and it affects you in life so much.
Yeah. Thank you for naming that. I'm just so inspired by you.
Thank you.
I'm just so proud of you. I'm inspired by you. Watch out for this guy because I feel like you're like about to unleash. And I just can't wait to see all the incredible things you're going to continue to do in this world and the courage to share so authentically with people who don't have the words, don't have the names for what they might be experiencing. I say thank you, Mike Clem.
Thank you.
You know,
Yeah.